There's a lot of interesting and emerging data with a new class of drugs targeting something called the Aurora A kinase, which we know to be very important in influencing how tumor cells divide. And there's a new drug called alisertib, and Dr. Barr from the University of Rochester presented an update of an intergroup study looking at this drug, identifying that it does have some interesting single-agent activity in patients who've been heavily treated with prior chemotherapy. In addition, Kelly Zullo from Columbia had presented what I thought was really interesting data, also looking at how best to combine alisertib with other drugs, and discovered that alisertib was potently synergistic with romidepsin, a drug that's already been approved for the treatment of patients with relapsed or refractory peripheral T-cell lymphoma and cutaneous T-cell lymphoma. And she actually provided some insight into a mechanistic basis for why these two drugs synergize, and it actually points to some underlying biology that we heard about from other pathologists and scientists here at the meeting, underscoring the importance of STAT3, for example, as one of the potential explanations for why that drug combination works. We heard some very interesting presentations from Peter Green and Govind Bhagat, who talked about celiac disease and the association between celiac disease and a very rare and unusual form of T-cell lymphoma called enteropathy-associated T-cell lymphoma. And Peter, who's actually a gastroenterologist, did a very nice job highlighting the natural history of celiac disease and the many epidemiologic factors that contribute to the development of enteropathy-associated T-cell lymphoma, while Govind Bhagat, a hematopathologist, actually went through the underlying biology in terms of how lymphocytes see and present these different antigens in patients who have celiac disease, and how that might actually influence their risk of developing the disease. So it's a pretty rare disease, but we're beginning to understand a whole lot more about the underlying biological basis of the disease, and it's one of the other examples of this meeting. It brings together diverse audiences from other fields of medicine. The scientists here, the physicians here are not strictly medical oncologists or hematologists. Because of the nature of this disease, and it's oftentimes very unique natural history, we need to really draw from the experiences in other areas of medicine, and that was one very good example.